Hi, everyone. Hi. How's everybody doing? Good day at ISTE? All right. Thank you all so much for spending some time with us in the Google booth. My name is Rick Borovoy. I am the product lead for a new program at Google called Android EDU. I am not a spokesmodel. I am not booth candy, so bear with me. But anyway, we're super excited to give you just a little bit of a preview for a product that we're launching in the fall that is designed to make Android tablets awesome in schools. How many of you are using Google products in schools now? Apps for EDU? Fantastic. Chromebooks? Fantastic. What did I miss? All right. Oh, phones. Excellent. Good. So when we started on this mission about a year ago, got a group together. Some of my team is here with me. That's Marta standing right there. And Prateep and Ian over there. And the goal was, okay, what do we need to do to make Android tablets awesome in schools? And we started by talking to customers. We have a lot of passionate Google customers who told us a bunch of things. The first thing they said is, look, you got to make it cheap enough so that we can give them to all our kids, because that's really when the transformation happens. We were like, cool, Nexus price points already, a couple $100. We're done. We're good. We're there. And then we heard, like, well, wait a minute, not so fast, because if we're going to give them to all our kids, then that presents a massive management challenge for us. And what are you going to do to make it so we can actually use those tablets with all those kids? The first thing we heard was from the IT person. Like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do when that crate of tablets shows up on the loading dock? How are we even going to get those set up? It's, it needs to be a really smooth process. So we're like, okay, we got it. We got to figure that out. And then the next thing we heard was, okay, look, even if you can help us get them set up, the really big problem we're having is, how do you get fantastic content onto them? How do you make it so you don't need an IT person involved for a teacher to say, look, I want to use this app with this group of kids that I know is really going to benefit from them? What we heard again and again is that process was too complicated for mobile technology. It was too hard to find it, it was too hard to buy it, and it was too hard to get it on tablets. So the mission that we set for ourselves was to bring the Google ease of use, the Google Cloud Mojo, to tablets and make it really, really easy and powerful to get them set up and useful in schools. And that's what I want to show you right now. You want a demo? All right. What you're looking at here is a couple of Nexus 7 tablets. Raise your hand if you've used a Nexus 7. All right, not that many of you. Totally awesome tablet. Gets rave reviews. Fantastic form factor. Really fits really nice in your hand. We've been piloting these with students for the last year, and the results have been tremendous. People love the form factor in the device. It's powerful. It's got great battery. It's really fast. It's really beautiful. It's a really excellent device. But out of the box, if you've got 5,000 of them that you're trying to get set up for your district, like any device, it was a little bit of a freak show. And we thought, okay, how are we going to make this much, much easier? And the thing we found out was, right out of the box, you had this problem where you wanted to make the device manageable. And in Google, we're all about cloud management. But there is no cloud, right? Because your device isn't even on Wi-Fi yet. So you've got this chicken and egg problem. If I want to make the device easy to manage through Wi-Fi, I've got to get it onto Wi-Fi. But you can't touch every device and put in your Wi-Fi credentials, right? That's a disaster. So the awesome Android EDU engineering team came up with this pretty magical way where, instead of putting your settings into 5,000 devices, you just put them into one device. That's this device right here. It's got a special app running on it that you can download. And you put in your Wi-Fi credentials for your school and your administrator account and a little bit more information like that. And you set it up one time and then hit a button here. Now watch this. All right. So out of the box here, right? Nexus 7 tablet in the state that the first time you power it on. No Wi-Fi, no settings, no accounts. All that's set up here. All I do, a little bit of a magic trick, is I touch these devices together. Just like that. And I get this, I don't know if you heard that. Let me try with this one. Here, I'll hold it up to my mic. You get this really satisfying sound. Now look, what you're looking at is a device going through a checklist where automatically, in just a couple seconds, it gets added to the Wi-Fi network. It gets set up with device management. It gets the admin account set onto it. And then in just a few seconds, the whole thing is ready to go, hopefully. Yeah? All right. So that solves the problem of getting the devices into the hands of kids. But as I said when I got started, that's half the problem. It's necessary, but it's not sufficient. The next question is, how do you find incredible apps to put on these devices that are going to create sort of magical learning experiences for kids? And again, we got an earful there about how hard that was and how, because it was so hard, it distanced teachers and educators who actually know the kids and know what they want to do from the process of finding and getting content on the devices. So we wanted to close that gap. We wanted to make that incredibly simple. So what we built from the ground up is a new content store built on top of Google Play, the content destination where you go to get all your device content at Google. But we built on top of it a second store that's designed from the ground up to make it really easy for educators to find content. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Again, you're getting a total sneak preview here. This is going to ship in the fall. And we're excited to get you all on board. So this is Google Play for Education. Okay? The first thing you notice is that the categories are picked to be educator relevant. So if I'm a mathematics teacher, I can go here, click on mathematics. Let's say I teach 4th grade. Ooh. I think we're off network here. Are we wired? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. Thank you. So if I'm a 4th grade math teacher, I go to mathematics, I click on 4th grade, and immediately I see a set of apps that have been recommended by teachers for teachers. Every single app that's surfaced here has been reviewed by an independent network of educators run by Q, who are here, the Computer Using Educators Network. And this group of teachers has said, yes, this particular app, I would recommend it for other 4th grade math teachers. And that's why it shows up here. So we've tried to make it much, much, much simpler for educators to find content that they care about in an efficient way. We heard again and again that the mechanisms that educators had now to find content were really inefficient. Going through Google search or looking through a consumer-focused app store. It was just non-convergent. You never had that sense that you really found what you were looking for and you really didn't know what was good or not. So instead we built around educationally curated content. Thanks. That was me, I wasn't clicking it. It's much, much easier to find good stuff. So from here I can say, okay, this is good, 4th grade math content. Let's say I'm looking for something, I'm trying to teach my kids about factoring. And so I'm going to go to the Common Core standard for getting familiar with factors and multiples, and then boom, up pops a set of apps and a set of videos, YouTube EDU videos that are specifically focused on this topic. So now I'm within a hair's breadth of being able to find just the right content for these kids, but how do I get it to them? So I'm going to click on an awesome app, Math Puzzle Game, okay? And now let's say that I want to get this to my 4th grade class. And let's say I've got 5,000 of these tablets around, but I want to get it to just the right kids here. So I click on order. And then, oh, you know what? I'm going to pick another one here. Hold on. want to find one that I haven't done already because I don't want to cheat. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm typing in the name of the Google group that's associated with these kids. So how many of you have ever used a Google group before? This is a feature of Google Apps for EDU, what the underpinning Google tools that schools can run for free that gives every student a Google account and gives them access to all the awesome Google tools like Docs and Drive and a bunch of other awesome Googleness. So what we did is we built on top of that. So now, using that same mechanism, you can assign an app to a group of students. And it's just that simple. I'm going to say add. Save the changes. And then, just look at my tablets here to see if the network is cooperating with us. That app will get directly provisioned to the tablet pretty instantaneously. The network here is a little iffy. So I'm not seeing it yet. But we've been doing this in pilots, and it's created a much, much, much more closed loop between the educator and the student. And the amazing thing about Google Groups is they're really easy to set up. So if you have a group of kids that has a particular interest, you can find an app and get it right to them. And you don't need an IT person involved. You don't need to take a whole prep period to do it. It's pretty much easy and instantaneous. And what we've heard is it makes it much easier for teachers to get more involved with the content that their kids are using. And that's what we're most excited about. I want to show you one more thing. So let's say that app was, I was going to provision something that wasn't free. So here's an app, Smarter Tools, that gives you access. It gives your kids access to a really awesome set of like a compass and some really great tools for math and for science. Well, I'm going to buy a couple. I'm going to buy licenses for a group of my kids. And when I click on buy, what comes up is not a credit card, place to put in my credit card, because we got an earful from educators that this is not how schools wanted to buy content, but instead a balance that's been created by the school procurement person that's run off of a purchase order. I see people nodding. So that's a purchasing person can create a balance, can say, okay, look, this can be used by this group of teachers and this subject matter lead, and then those folks can spend against that. So we're trying to pull out the whole friction-riddled process that currently involves purchasing in schools. What we've heard from teachers is that that one of two things happens in the current situation. A, you put it on your own credit card, you never see that money again. I see a lot of people nodding. Or B, you try and go through some sort of procurement process and you never get the content. So neither of those seem like really, really good solutions to us. We tried to figure out a way to kind of let the procurement people do their job and then let the educators who knew the students and knew the content do their job and make those work together. And we're getting really good feedback about that.